8 years ago now. We are one of the first OEMs that had a dedicated biomass department. My background is actually the development of biomass power and liquids facilities. It's not ag equipment. I've been with the company 2.5 years now, but what they thought is that they needed someone that understood that part of the business so that they could bridge that gap. A lot of what we are looking towards the future are how to take passes out of the field. I'll talk a little more about that later because that's a money-saving technique. When you look at the supply chain, the first thing you do is you combine. Then we would take a shredder and windrow, bale it, pick up the bales and stack them at the end of a field, which eventually ends up in a larger storage facility. And that's a lot of steps, it's a lot of equipment, and it's a lot of complication because all of these 3 steps here are going on at the same time in the same field. It can be complicated logistically and service-wise and maintenance-wise. So we decided that it really made sense to try to give our customers, which are the bio facilities and then the local farmers or the professional harvesters, if you will, is a single point of contact so that there's almost a fleet management concept behind this supply chain. But placing, all of this equipment under one group to manage it, service it, make sure that it stays running, is available to be working, really brings an efficiency that's very, very difficult to do otherwise. It also brings a quality to the bales that come in the front door because it exercises more control over that. When you start looking at one of these projects, and 10 of the top 15 supply chain influencers are related to feedstock supply operations. The top 4 are related just to the baling operation. And if you look at what you can do, you can take that cost down about $22 a ton. This is just a first look at this. Of course, if you don't manage them, your price goes up. But bale density alone can take down that supply chain by as much as $8 a ton. And there's a lot of discussion in the industry about density versus production. A lot of people think just because you put the same amount of material through a baler, but you're not as dense, that it's the same difference. And that is not the case at all. The more dense the material, the fewer bales that are made, the fewer then you have to handle. And in the scheme of handling 700,000 or 800,000 bales, if you decrease that, if you increase the density by half a pound, you're going to have about 60,000 to 70,000 fewer bales to handle that year. Well, when you do that, you just cut through, again, just an operational parameter, maybe $500,000 that goes straight to your bottom line, or is not spent picking something up and moving it somewhere else. The future of our research will be in ways for us to tell you more about the material as we pick it up that you can use then to develop your stacking mechanisms. Like we've actually evaluated what it would take to be able to tell you the ash and sugar content of material as it's collected in the field so that it can then be stacked in a certain manner so that then it can be picked up and mixed together so that it optimizes the performance of the plant. That's the future. Right now, we're still trying to make sure we can feed the steel cow. So that's the first step. The next step will be let's get more and more efficient at what we do and take steps out of the field as we're working.